Hi Pisces, and welcome to your August 2019 general reading. So we'll do a general look at the cards, then I'm going to look at some relationship dynamics. My long relationship readings will be on Vimeo, which is your choice if you get them or not. But I'll try and get a picture of what's going on with you just with a couple of cards, okay? So I'm going to pull one additional guidance card for you. So you get No Place Like Home. I love that card. Oh, it's that feeling of what does home feel like to you. So this can represent a place, or it can represent a state of being authentic within your own nature. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I tend to look at it. No place like home is someone who's at peace with who they are. They don't wear masks. They don't... Oh, am I getting the right words? It's a feeling of homecoming. Very much like the Six of Cups card. Absolutely beautiful. So this looks very, very hopeful that your reading is going to be a reading of feeling just at peace within your own nature, Pisces, okay? So I'm going to cut the cards and then shuffle them again. So please give me clear-cut messages for Pisces. That's it. So I'm assuming they're ready. So what's behind you is the Six of Swords with the Ten of Swords. Don't worry about the Ten of Swords. I actually look, the way to understand the card is to understand the card before it. The Nine of Swords is about fear and anxiety, and the Ten of Swords is like that feeling of I'm not sure where I'm going, but I'm no longer going to live the way that I have been living. Feeling trapped, and maybe even for some of you is not feeling happy. So the Six of Swords is very much a healing card because it comes after the Five. So there's maybe been some turbulence. There might, for some of you, some words, some conflict. And these are real cards of, no, I just want to feel at ease within my own being, and I'm not going to live my life governed by fight or flight, anxiety about the future. Two cards that I particularly like seeing together. Now what you want is the Star card. The Star card is about grace. Yeah, grace, transparency, straightforward openness. It is the card of Aquarius, if any of you are dealing with any Aquarius energy. What's helping you get the Star is the High Priestess. Let me carry on. The challenge is the Page of Pentacles. I'm sort of laughing at that. I don't mean to laugh, but can be a young earth sign person, or it can be the challenges to do with this pentacle. Justice card in relationships. This is Libra. It has got a blindfold on it in this deck. Don't always love this card in this deck, because sometimes there's a feeling of not knowing where a relationship is going. Yeah, but we'll find out. Money and work. You've got the King of Pentacles, so looking very solid there, looking very good. So why is that page the challenge? I'll find out. Maybe you're starting something new. Knight of Wands at a soul position. Now this is very, very connected with both these two cards, because the Knight of Wands is an energy of not listening to the mind, but following impulses, following a deep sense of knowing of what's right for you and what's wrong for you, which is no place like home, basically. And it's all going to temperance. So some of you might be dealing with a fire sign person, Sagittarius. There's a lot of quite a lot of water showing up here, by the way. So water is the emotional world. It's the expression. It's about dialogue. So it looks like some Pisces have been maybe in a little bit of a turbulent time, dealing with things like the Five of Swords and the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So an awful lot of overthinking. We cannot use the mind to solve our problems, Pisces. Yeah, it's impossible. All the mind does is go round in repetitive circles. And maybe some of you have come to realise that, and you're learning just more to go with the flow, okay? Go with the flow. Go with what feels right for you, what feels true to you. So what you want is a Star card. It's a card of transparency. She's naked, she's vulnerable. So there's not all this hidden subterranean energy, which is not good for our health, okay? The Star card is about straightforwardness. It rules Aquarius. That's what Aquarius stands for. So tell me more about what this Star card is about for Pisces, please. And there you go, Six of Cups, no place like home. So maybe there's a little bit of open communication required with someone. There's this sense of wanting some sort of reconnection here, because the Six of Cups is a card of reconnection, and the Star card is about the open flow of emotions. Okay, now the gift that's helping you get that is the High Priestess. Some of you might be seeking an oracle reading, seeking a tarot reading to get some sort of guidance, because that's who the High Priestess is. So tell me more about this High Priestess and how it's helping Pisces find this sense of homecoming, this sense of being able to be openly communicating. The Star card is also about grace. Remember, divine grace doesn't come to everyone. It comes through a certain attitude, and maybe it's an attitude of offering an olive branch, wanting to take some sort of personal ownership of any difficult behaviours that have taken place between you and someone else. That's sort of how we get divine grace, okay? And that's how so many people struggle when they don't have it, because it requires a certain stance towards life. And it's a stance towards life where we seek to meet the other person owning our own side of the street. Very much like how the 12-step programs work, yeah? That's how people get freedom, basically. Life is incredibly simple if we understand the universal laws. Tell me more about the High Priestess, please, as the gift. I mean, obviously this is a very, very, very Piscean card, because it talks about our depths, the waters. Tell me about the High Priestess as the gift. Okay, it's with the Magician. So it's almost like some of yous are going within. With the Magician card, he holds all the aces, he's the manifester. And really, in order to manifest, we really, really need to be working at the powers of our imagination. Our powers of our imagination can create hell, or they can create heaven. It looks like some Pisces have been maybe in a bit more challenging of a mindset, and you're beginning to understand the gifts of the soul. And one of the gifts of the soul is the ability to manifest. And I'm not talking about a $1 million house. I'm talking about a meaningful existence, yeah? Where we have all the aces, we have the Magician, we have all the main corners of our lives working in our favour. Now the challenge is this little Page of Pentacles. I actually love this little guy. So can be an earth sign person, would be a late teenager. Tell me why he's a challenge. at the Queen of Cups. I am sort of laughing, to tell you the truth. I've got a young Page of Pentacles son. So the Queen of Cups has came up with him. So, you know what? Offering compassion, offering love to teenagers are such a, this is a teenager or a person, they're such wild horses and they have to be allowed to do their thing. So tell me more about this challenge. I mean, it can be about getting something off the ground, some sort of new potential that wants to happen. Again, tell me who the Page of Pentacles is about, please. It's with the Emperor. So these are your challenges. The Emperor is Aries. This is, the Emperor's also I am and I will. It's about that part of us, a bit like the Knight of Wands, that takes direction of our lives. Yeah, it's like, I've got a vision and I'm going for it. Now, the Page of Pentacles might be sort of trying to get something off the ground. So a little bit of a, it's like if you're trying to get a business off the ground, where's my platform? Where will I advertise? Where will I put my work? These can be the challenge, actually. The answer really is always to go back to the High Priestess. We ask for the answers to be revealed in dream time. It's literally that simple. We just ask, show me the way. Show me how to get this energy working for me, leading me in the direction that I choose to go in. So let me just carry on. So the Justice card is in your relationships. This is Libra. Libra is about connection and resonance. But as I say, it's got a blindfold on it here. And it's chained to these scales, which is literally the law of karma. Yeah. We get what we reap. That's the end of it. So what's the Justice card doing in relationships, please, for Pisces? One card and one card only, because I'll be looking at relationships. You've got the Wheel showing up. The Wheel is Goddess Fortuna, tends to bring very good fortune, and with the Libra card, there's a change in fortune in your relationships here. And wanting the Star card and the Six of Cups is that feeling of reconnection. Maybe there's been a separation from someone, you know. Maybe the scales haven't worked out in your favour in the past, Pisces. The good news is with the Wheel is that everything turns in the end. And we can help it to turn along. And we help the Wheel to turn by being in this state of grace, being open, being transparent, cleaning up our side of the street. Yeah, that sort of thing. Now, the King of Pentacles is in your money and work. So that's why I'm a little bit uncertain about the Page of Pentacles. Because the King of Pentacles is a really solid, really secure card. Again, the Page has become the King, so it's very strong foundations. So I'm still a little bit uncertain about the challenge here. But there seems to be something to do with this and this, which is about direction. I am and I will. And that's the other side of Pisces, remember. A part of you is going to the infinite and a part of you is going to Aries, which is the initiating energy. And it's all about new directions. So this seems to be a little bit of the challenge, but I love the outcome because you're bang in the middle. Temperance card, floating in the water and not drowning in it. You've got that grail and you're just holding it and you're keeping this perfect balance in your life between opposites. I need to know more about your challenge. I'm a little bit... Because if these were people, there'd be an Aries and a young earth sign person as a challenge, okay? If they were your own energies, there'd be a sense of assertiveness, a sense of knowing what you want. And the pages are always about new opportunities, but that doesn't make sense with the king showing up here. Unless some of you already have a sense of authority and stability, but you're trying to get something else off the ground. That's maybe what this is about. And the trick is always to go back to the High Priestess, reprogramming, reprogramming, reprogramming. And we keep reprogramming until we become that magician, this energy that knows how to create a life and a vision of the life that it wants, okay? The trick is always about timing. People give up because they believe nothing's happening, when really it can take a whole cycle, the wheel, for the good that we put out to come back to us. And it can take a whole cycle for the crap we put out to come back to us. But there's something going on. Can you give me another card for Pisces with these energies? I think one card. I think this might be to do with family issues. You get the Empress. So this might be people in your life, and they might rock your equilibrium a little bit, Pisces. Yeah, because people do. That's their purpose. That's sort of what I'm picking up here. But what you want is this more transparent communication. Yeah, and that's good. When that's your aim, then the waters begin to flow in a much more healthier way. Our lives become better because we're much more connected with our depths. Yeah, so it's very, very interesting. This might be a couple of family people who are a little bit of a challenge. So anything after Temperance, you get the Lovers card, which is Gemini, which is either going to be a person or trying to get balance in a relationship. So I want to find out what's going on in your relationship dynamics. If I could size this reading up very, very briefly, there's a desire here, as I say, for more transparency, more clear dialogue, more reconnection, okay? Maybe there has to be a little bit of grace shown here, so that sort of energy, okay? But open communication. There's a lot of work happening around basic reprogramming, because unless we do basic reprogramming, we just keep carrying on the same old crap, and then we wonder why we keep getting the same old crap, when in fact what needs to happen is we need to go back to that, you know, that High Priestess, do some reprogramming work on the messages. That's what the Magician, the High Priestess is, okay? The challenge, this Emperor and this Page, so it might be something they're doing together. It could be family members, by the way. Something incredible happening in your relationships, which I really, really like. Something's coming full circle. It might be something that you've waited for quite a long time. The King of Pentacles in your finances is just looking very, very good. You might feel that there's not a lot moving. The King of Pentacles moves twice a year. Very fixed, very stubborn sign. But it's very stable. The Knight of Wands at a soul level can be a fire sign, or it can be this desire just to live authentically to your own self. Underneath it, we all know what we want. We all know what we need, and we all know the path to follow. The trick is to not listen to the mind, but to follow this impulse. And then Temperance is this incredible middle path, floating in the water, not drowning in it, which means you've got There's been a lot of shift in your emotional world, basically. So how's Pisces approaching their relationships this month, please? One card. The Magician. Very sort of male-like, quite dominant, quite powerful. How are they approaching you? And they're approaching you as the Queen of Cups. Very gently, very sort of... Queen of Cups is a very, very gentle card. You seem to be... very much taking control of something here. What's the connecting card between these two? One card, please. The Ten of Cups. It came up twice. So the Ten of Cups is a lot of emotional happiness. It's a rainbow after the storm, which makes sense with what you most want. There needs to be a little bit of a clearing here, Pisces, of something. And remember, grace. Grace comes when we own our side of the street. That's it. That's all we need to do. So what's the Magician card about? Why are you taking such charge? You're very much taking the lead of something here. Seven of Cups. Try to move out of this fog and this confusion into this clarity. The other person is the Queen of Cups with the Ace of Swords, so they're gaining more clarity. And the Ten of Cups is the connecting card, which means there's going to be light coming after the storm, because it seems to me some Pisces have been in a little bit of a mental hellhole. The mind cannot solve the problems of our lives. What solves the problems of our lives is authentic, straightforward, graceful communication. And some people don't like it when we operate that way, because people are just not used to it. They're just not used to straightforwardness. But that is what brings grace into our life. And when grace comes into our life, oh my God, do we live in a different world. And then you get the Six of Cups, you get this feeling of reconnection. Okay, Pisces, I will put your relationship reading on Vimeo. The link's underneath if you choose to watch it or not. And I do weeklies as well. A little bit, you know, it is a little bit confusing for me, especially the challenges. I can't help thinking these might be family members. Deep breath. Keep floating in the water and not drowning in it. And when we drown in the water, we get lost in other people's stuff. I think we all understand that one, Pisces, don't we? Loads of love. Bye.